Okay, what we have here today is not the world's strangest before and after photo, but it is a comparison. On one side, you have a donkey, and on the other side, there's me. Big difference, right? Well, not as much as you might think, and it's not just because we've both been called a jackass on occasion. From a DNA standpoint, humans and donkeys are nearly 90% the same. That's same building blocks, same structure, same fundamentals. And yet, no one has ever mistaken me for a donkey, at least not that I know of. Why is that? Well, it's because that remaining 10%, that changes everything. And this is also something almost no one tells you about the digital products world. So many aspiring creators, especially smart, capable ones, never start because they believe they need something that completely reinvents the wheel. I'm talking 100% original in all aspects, a completely new idea, a never before done product, a category that doesn't exist yet. But that belief is costing them years. Yes, years. Someday, the next massive fast food empire will dominate the world selling hamburgers, but not because they invented meat, not because they invented bread, not because they reinvented the grill. A hamburger will still be a hamburger, but something will be different. Something small in theory, but massive in impact. Could be one ingredient, could be the marketing, positioning, culture, audience focus, distribution, you name it. But that 10% will be the reason that they win. Same rule applies to digital products. If you're a yoga instructor and you've wanted to create info products like books or maybe a podcast, a course, a membership, but you haven't started because, quote unquote, all of this has been done before, that's the wrong reason to not begin. You are allowed to be 90% identical in structure to what already works. In fact, you should be. That 90% is proven, it's tested, validated. Your job is not to reinvent the wheel. Your job is to obsess over the 10%. Make it bigger, make it sharper, make it more helpful, make it more memorable, make it unmistakably yours. Target a specific audience inside the yoga world. Solve a more precise problem or a relatively new problem. Speak in a voice no one else is using. And deliver value. Deliver value in a way that's unique to you. It's the same reason why people who love hamburgers will eat hamburgers at many different locations. Aim to become the hottest item on the menu, not the only item on the menu. Build everything around that 10% chunk of complete market differentiating originality. Because when you stop trying to build a 100% new business, something powerful happens. You get to put 100% of your energy into what actually matters. Your angle, your insight, your lived experience, your value proposition. The part no one else can copy. Steve Jobs did not invent the computer, didn't invent the MP3 player or the smartphone or the tablet or even the app. What he did was take things that already existed and he obsessed over the 10%. That wasn't starting from zero. That was seeing what worked and pushing one small, meaningful part so far forward that it changed the entire category. Jobs once said, I'll never forget this, and I hope you don't either, creativity is just connecting things. That's the 10%. It's connecting technology to emotion, design to usability, power to simplicity. Apple's products, think about it, were often 90% familiar and 10% radically better in the places that mattered most to humans. So yes, when I said that creation doesn't come from starting from zero, it comes from seeing what already works and pushing one small meaningful part of it further than anyone else has, I'm describing the core of Apple's success. And it can and should be the core of your Gumroad or Etsy or digital products business, regardless of the platform on which you launch. I have worked with dozens of fellow seven-figure sellers who didn't build 100% new things. We build better, clearer, more intentional differences and make them impossible to ignore. When coupled with a proven product and marketing release cadence that engages and entertains, you will actually achieve what 99% of internet gurus will never be able to deliver for you: impact and income. Don't build a business from the ground up. Build on foundations that are waiting for you to come and elevate your industry. Build around the 10%, because that's the difference between a donkey and a human. And it's also the difference between an idea that stays in your head and a business that actually changes your life.